That's what I really hate about this part of the video in particular. This really pissed me off. The fact that they're letting brands know that they can use customers to save even more money and to profit and earn more. Welcome to another episode of my podcast That's Fun With Me. Today we're going to be talking about Lipstick Labs once again. And I hear you guys, I read your comments, and I get the fact that you're very interested in how this situation is escalating, how the situation is going, and how it is processed by the owners, Alexis and Christine, if I'm mistaken. That is the main reason why we're going to dive deeper. I'm going to give a small commentary on their video that they posted 4 days ago. I'm filming on the 17th of March, and I guess 4 days ago, it means it was on the 13th. So it was around like Friday, maybe Saturday, depending on the time zone you're living in. That is the main reason why I'm going to get started. There's going to be a video posted on the screen. I'm going to give a commentary based on a fair use of their video, and it's definitely for commentary purposes only. That's why we're going to get started, guys. What they have to say.
The internet has spoken.
This is the first Lipstick Labs State of the Union.
Why am I paying to have a product that's unfinished for me to test and give you feedback?
You're not paying for an unfinished good.
And you're not paying to do the work for us.
You're paying to participate in beauty's largest public focus group that's being documented.
So here's the issue, in my opinion, and I'm not the only one who probably mentioned this. I read a lot of different comments. I saw a lot of different commentary from other people, especially like Jen Love, and it's quite obvious they're a little bit irritated or maybe a little bit aggressive, which I totally get. This is your baby, this is your company, and you invest time, energy, and especially money in this project. That is the main reason why every single time everyone is posting a video or leaving a comment that is not even aggressive, but as they mentioned, like, why am I paying to test and provide feedback for an unfinished product? It sounds a little bit offensive. That is the main reason why they're a little bit defensive. I totally get it. It's especially going to their first experience where they had to close down their first project in their first company. You can check this out in my first podcast that I devoted to Lipstick Labs. And they had to go bankrupt and move back with their parents. That is the main reason why I totally understand this fear behind the defensive mode, because they know that the first project wasn't successful and they had to work harder and so much more to make sure that they can be successful in their future projects. But at the same time, as a business model, it's not something that you have to be emotional about. And it's really hard, but I know that a lot of the times people, they take some extra emotion, some extra anger, I guess, and certain fears in a job that has to be very formal, strategic, and logical. And that is the first thing. Second thing that they mentioned, I guess, in the first part of the video, this is the first ever documented focus group experience that you're taking participation in. And I kind of agree on that point, but there's still, of course, a lot of documented videos and footage where people are sharing their experience, and the focus group is not only related to some products, but for certain, I guess, videos and some new films, the producers that test in the waters. The problem here that some people might have is the fact they have to pay for this. Most of the time, focus groups, it's getting into my mouth, I'm sorry guys. The problem is that most of the time focus groups, they're getting paid for their reviews. And in this point, they kind of reverse the strategy. First and foremost, it's never been done in the market as far as I can tell. And they kind of turn this into their own benefits. They're not only using your money to test some new products, but they're actually benefiting from this money. But they're not making you to buy their products, if we're going to be fair. They're telling you this straightforward, that this is a concept. If you're willing to participate, you're mostly welcome. If you're not willing, skip on this launch or maybe some next launches or our company in general. I would say that $34 for like 4 different shades, they're not even packaged properly. They saving a lot of money on the PR campaign, on their models, and distribution in general. It's quite a lot. You're paying additional money for delivery, and that is the main reason why I would say, I mean, in my opinion, it's very, very expensive for the product that is not properly tested. Not in the way like it is tested. Public did not have hands on this product. Not enough people shared their experience. And, you know, though they're not asking your money, it's quite a lot of money. I actually thought that it's going to be way more cheaper because they were saving on the packaging, on PR campaigns, on so many more things like sharing and sending this products with other influencers, if I'm mistaken. They did not share this with any other influencers. That is the reason why I would say that they saved a lot of money, but they have to invest in some new products. And what they said that some of these products, they might be formula specifically, they might be pretty expensive. But how expensive is going to be one shade that costs like $8.5 for just like one shade with no packaging? I don't really think so. And yeah, they didn't actually ask for this. That is the main reason why it was straightforward, and they were not shady. They were not hiding this information that you're literally just going to be a focus group that is paying to be in this focus group. Let's move on.
We actually make sure we test BD products before we launch them to make sure they're ready for consumers' hands.
We might even be testing them right now.
And well, I'm not really sure that they are testing these products. I believe that labs, they were testing the products, because I don't really think they have any authority to do and to run any tests. And the fact that we talked again in one of my first podcasts about Leak Labs, and it was like 2 videos ago, I'm going to leave the link down in the description box. You can buy a formula that is pre-made in the lab, or you can do a custom-made formula. What they're doing, they're buying already pre-made formulas. So these formulas, they were tested, they were invented. What they had to do is just pick them up, put them in a, I'm sorry, but like a very cheap container, like a small cheap container, and send this out and create a PR strategy that is going to work for them. In a way, it was tested, but not by them, but I guess just by the lab. Because you are actually focus group, you are actually testing these products in a way like, how wearable is this? Is it useful? How's it gonna react with my skin and all blah 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 blah.
When manufacturers present products to brands and then brands take it and develop them further, these products are finished. It's just brands take it a step further with longer lead times to make it tailored to them.
Well, I kind of agree with this fact. It's just what we've just discussed a second ago, that they buy a ready-made formula. They're not doing a custom-made formula. But not every single brand, and again, Estee Lauder or L'Oreal and many like conglomerates, they have their own labs and they have their own manufacturers. That is the main reason why it's really expensive, and they're creating their own products. If we're going to talk about certain brands that are creating and investing money in custom formulas, they are going to own that, and they're going to have some ownership on this product. And in this situation, they're in a way grabbing pre-made formula that other brands just didn't want to take because it's super risky, and that is the main reason. So when they're saying like it's tailored to them, what they actually mean, in my opinion, is that they're investing in more packaging, in a PR campaigns, and in so many more like sending this to PR and doing some additional commercial, and just dispersing the product in general. What they're not doing, but they're asking quite a lot of money, like $34 for like 4 eyeshadows without a decent packaging. And I'm going like circles. It's quite expensive. It's the same level as, I would say, like Patrick Ta asked for 2 shades with a packaging for like $24. It's quite, and he was roasted for these prices.
What we're doing is we're expediting that cycle and giving you the finished good that's presented by the manufacturer to your hands. But rest assured, Leak Labs products are safe to use, pass all cosmetics and regulatory testing, ready for launch, and hygienic to you.
The preservative system is there for a reason.
Yeah, the preservative system is quite good. When Jen Love and I checked the preservatives, they're there. They're like really kind of strong preservatives. But I would say that I was watching Jen Love video, and that is a great video. I will highly recommend her channel. I will highly recommend her videos. They're super like deep dive videos. And what she was talking about in this video was that preservatives, though they're really good, but how is it gonna work with water if you add some additional like water and moisture to this product, and then if it's not dry, then you close the lid, and is it gonna be moldy? The question that I have, and this is my point, what they're saying is most of the time if you travel a lot, it's not gonna break. These eyeshadows, if you hit them on the floor, and they're not gonna break, they're gonna stay the same way, which is really good, and it's solving in a way an issue. But at the same time, I don't really know if you're traveling a lot, how is it realistic that I do my makeup and then I go to package my stuff and move? That is the reason why under the lid and under the cover, there might be some additional moisture, and is it gonna become moldy? That's my question number one. Even with the preservatives, because with Patrick Ta, when he launched his eyeshadows, one of the eyeshadows, they got moldy, and that was a huge scandal over the internet, and people were like, what is going on? Like, we paid a lot of money, and this is the first time ever when the product is becoming moldy. That is the main reason why, like, it had preservatives, it was a very high price, but still it turned, like, because some additional, I guess, moisture in the product, it turned moldy, and that is the main reason why it was a huge concern. That is the main reason why I think this is a concern of some people, because you are going to be adding additional moisture. If it's not a fix and spray, then probably it's going to be water. That's the point.
So what does the future of leaked hold?
The truth is that no one really knows what the future of Leaked Labs is going to hold, including us.
We're going to rescue products that deserve the spotlight. We're going to give them the platform to be seen. And we're going to also develop some of what we feel to be the best in class innovations that are yet to hit the market.
And again, first they mentioned that we are, as customers and I guess viewers, and at the same time people that will purchase this product and test them out, are going to decide, is it innovative or if it's not innovative. And that is the main reason why saying that they're going to keep on rescuing some products that deserve to be seen and they are innovative, you're like, but we don't really know if they are actually innovative enough. Because like with Flexi Powder, let's go back to this point, like I have this Givenchy gel formula and it's been in my drawers like for a long period of time, and there's some backstory behind this gel. We can tell and see that it does dry out a little bit, and when it dries out, it becomes more like a consistency of the Flexi Powder. It is a little, I mean, like, of course they did create a little bit different formula, but what I'm saying here is that it's a liquid product. This is basically like liquid eyeshadows, and we do get a lot of liquid eyeshadows on the market that you can transfer the lid and just use your brush. Second thing, like if I drop it, it's not going to break. And again, the problem is salt. In a way, if you really want to have a feeling of like a powdery product compact that is not a real powder, gel formula put in the powder compact size or like format, that's innovative. It's not as innovative as, I would say, products as like beauty blenders or falsies, false lashes, that were like huge in maybe 2010, maybe a little bit later. So there's room for innovation, but do we really need this as an innovation? And certain products, they're just for a reason are not innovative. I don't really think it's innovative. It's basically a gel formula or like gel consistency put in the way that is like a powdery compact, just from my point of view.
But at the end of the day, we're going to do so alongside you with the curtain peeled back fully this time. This is a space for collaboration. This is an invitation to all brands out there that aren't sure about an innovation. If they so choose, maybe they can leak it with our lab.
That is the point that I hated the most about this video, because like if previously I mentioned certain things like when you can give them a slack or just like have certain doubts, I don't like the fact that they're inviting brands into this whole idea. I mean, I like it and I dislike it at the same time. So what I really like is the fact that actually you are participating and no one is forcing you into this project. But at the same time, brands, they are responsible for the focus group. They are responsible to study the product properly before they release this on the market. Kind of like a shady thing behind the curtain is not only you paying to participate in a focus group and to participate in some products that might not really be good, but the fact that brands who are going to capitalize on the fact that you're buying this product, they're not even going to invest additional time, energy, and money for the job they have to do to explore some options of the products. They're going to put this on the shoulders of the customers. You know what I'm saying is like any product that is probably too expensive for the company to pick on, or any product that is questionable, is it going to be a hit or miss? And the company is like, I don't really know if we should invest into this product. So they're going to the Leaked Labs, and people are going to pay to do this job for brands, and then they're going to pay brands for this product that they actually sponsored for brands. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like one thing when these girls, they're participating in this thing and they were very open and upfront, but right now it's more like, let's save more money and let's capitalize more on people in the future, because like brands, they're just gonna grab money. That's gonna be a cash cow. We're gonna be like a cash cow. That's what I really hate about this part of the video in particular. This really pissed me off. The fact that they're letting brands know that they can use customers to save even more money and to profit and earn more.
Is Flexi a gimmick?
Historically, when innovations launch, many people don't understand them and they need a lot of explanation.
Well, I can agree on that, because let's talk about microwave. I remember this, it was, I guess, in newspapers. I don't remember. It was a woman who put a cat in a microwave, and of course, cat died. So she sued the company and said that you didn't explicitly mention that you cannot put animals in the microwave. And we were like, it's kind of like obvious that you can't do this. But what they're saying here, I kind of agree on this point that certain innovations, they might be a little bit off to a public eye and to understand what is the meaning behind that. And that is the main reason why you have to explain how to use these products properly. That is the main reason why we have tutorials. That is the main reason why we talk about things, we discuss them. And that's a great point, in my opinion. That's a great point.
If you want this product to be used the way you've used all your other powder products, is it really innovative? It's really just a question of, is it worth it to explore?
And again, this is a question where it's a really vague language where I know all the words, but I don't understand what they mean. It's like, is it actually innovative that you are using the product that was supposed to be powder, but it's not a powder? And it's up to you and whatever. I don't really know, because in a way, probably this is innovative, but at the same time, like, what kind of innovation is that? I don't know. Definitely not a revolutionary product. Not as like a beauty blender or maybe like full slashes.
And ultimately, the question of whether or not Flexi is a gimmick is really up to you to decide.
And again, like what they said, it's up to us to decide. And when people decided, a lot of people, not everyone, a lot of people decided that it's a gimmick and probably it's not worth that much money, or like it's not solving an issue and whatever, they actually came out with a full 2-minute and 20-second video where they're explaining that you're wrong. And like, we're right. So, okay, we decide that's a gimmick. So why? What's going to happen? You are going to do what about that? I feel like just don't invest money if you feel like that's a gimmick product. But how are you supposed to know that's a gimmick product if you don't really invest your money into that? That's like a circle that you're keep going back to.
The selfie camera was actually seen as a narcissistic gimmick when it first launched. And look at it now.
That is another question. I mean, not a selfie camera. Instagram, I would believe, that is the first app that was considered to be narcissistic. And maybe they refer to Instagram in general, because in my opinion, when it started, I was like, why do I have to post some videos or photos about my day for people to see? Like, how good is it to be me, or like whatever? And then of course everyone got used to this idea that it's maybe not even narcissistic, but it's a way to share certain, I guess, cultural benefits of your region. And maybe you are not even sharing your face, you're sharing your food, anything like this. So I don't really think that selfie camera is a way of gimmick. I guess it's just an Instagram first idea, is that, look at me, I'm valid and you have to watch my content. Maybe like this, because on YouTube, you're basically share some tutorials and some information that might be very useful. At least it used to be years ago when this whole content was created. I mean, the first ever video was within a zoo where they were filming themselves. So maybe it's a narcissistic thing, but like, I don't really think it's about camera. I think it's more about social media and certain apps.
Lastly, we've come to understand we've solved one of your biggest pain points. Flexi is unbreakable. Just like that, Flexi is unbreakable unless you rip it.
Who knows if Amplify Flexi powder will influence the future of what powder products.
My eyeliner is unbreakable. So in a way, we do have liquid eyeshadows. I don't really want to say anymore.
Take me, for example. I only dated men until I tried a woman, and boy, was I surprised.
You need to be flexible.
You know, a lot of times people didn't like the last part of it all. It's not about the fact that they're lesbians. It's about the fact that you don't know what you're missing if you don't try something else. But it's a little bit kind of like a different story. It's like you can try, for example, you've always been with women and now you want to try a man and you don't like it and you go back, for example, to women, or like vice versa. You've always been with men and now you want to try a woman and you're like, I don't like to be with a woman. I want to go back. So their point is not valid, in my opinion, because sometimes you understand that it's not worth it. And sometimes you are not have to continue to be flexible. It's not about to try new things. It's about, if I don't like it, it's okay if I come back to my original ways. As Samantha Jones, she started dating a woman, but then she realized that she loved men more. Is this the only way around? Sometimes you might not really like certain things. And that's what this video and that's what about their first launch is about. People paid quite a lot of money and they didn't like it. So what they're referring to in the last section about like, I tried a woman and I liked it and boy, I was surprised, whatever, is the fact that, well, not every single person liked it. And do not compare your experience with my experience. That's a little bit kind of different story, you know what I'm saying? I want to go back again to the first podcast that I made about Lip Labs. The first launch, in my opinion, wasn't that successful. And that is a miss. And some people say and praise it for being successful. Some people say it's not really successful launch. Again, it depending on, and you are here to decide if it's a good thing or not. But if that's the best that they could get us, I mean, most of the time the first launch has to be one of the best because you need an attention, you need to attract new audience, you need to show the best. And I don't really think this was the best, and I don't really think it was worth spending a lot of money. Because again, when I was watching Jen Love's review on this product, it is not really handy to use it. So you need to purchase a new plate, or you need to purchase a makeup palette that you have to place these shades on, and then you have to spritz them, leave it like this, but you need to use this makeup artist palette in the future. So you have to always, take them off and put it somewhere else. They don't really give you enough probably like packaging to store these products. And yeah, I kind of get an idea that you are participating in this experiment, but at the same time, this is a real launch. And what we're looking for is at least the way you can use it in the future. And is it going to be practical in everyday life? Because all of this, like 4 different shadows, they're like, you have to store them somewhere. You can't just, especially when they're wet, you can't put them on each other, because I don't really see how it's going to work and how it's going to dry in the future. And that is another issue for people, and concern probably, that they're paid quite a lot of money and they didn't even get a nice packaging, like not even a beautiful packaging, but like useful and practical packaging. If they still get more misses than hits, I don't really think that's gonna be a great company. As a strategy at first, I mean, again, you can invest money in whatever you want if it's not going to be this innovative every single time. And at the same time, I just wonder, how is it going to be possible to create 12 products a year to be super innovative? Is it actually possible? It's something that we've never seen on the market. I don't really think so, but probably, yeah. I don't know. I was probably hoping for some mattes that were in between of gel formula and dry formula, so they would stay longer and they will set some products, or you don't really need to set them. I was like thinking about something like this, not something that you have to literally just spray it over and over again with a fix and spray and waste fix and spray. I don't really know how it's going to work with water. So yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys. I mean, this video was pretty telling that it was a little bit offensive, like defensive, whatever. And that is the main reason why I don't really think we deserve this type of answer. What I think they should have done, they said, like, we hear your thoughts and we kind of get an idea that this wasn't a good fit for most of you guys. That is the main reason why, as we promised in the promo, we're gonna exclude this product from our line and focus on some other products. We got it. You didn't like it. That's what they promised. But it does turn into some mess and a little bit of anger. I love you all so much, and I'll see you in my next podcast. That's fine with me. Let me know your thoughts and comments down in the description box, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.